But anyway, like the first day I rocked up to the school, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And honestly, I got out of the car, and the thing just like it set itself on fire in front of the whole school. I was like, oh no, man, this is not how I wanted my first day to go.
Hello and welcome to the UK Surf Show. We are your hosts. I'm Pete.
And I'm Leighton. On this episode, we speak to what's one to watch, Ben Larg.
Not in a creepy way, because he's only 16.
Yes, he is the 16-year-old big wave surfer, and he surfed Mully
when he was 14.
14.
So if you remember when we spoke to Peter Conroy over in Ireland, and he was saying about he took this young kiddie out and all of a sudden he saw him being towed into a wave and he was like, oh, fucking hell.
40-foot wave at 14 years old.
Yeah.
And he surfed it and survived.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But some of the stories he says on this thing, what is it? This podcast episode, on this thing we do, they're bloody brilliant. And for a 16-year-old, he had a lot of confidence, I think. He's a nice kid.
Yeah, nice kid, very articulate, especially for his age. And
the stories about his dad are hilarious.
yeah. And he's just super cool, isn't he? And he's definitely going to be one to watch for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Before we head into this, don't forget, head over to North Core and use the code SS Podcast, and that will get you 15% off anything you order.
Let's jump in.
So I'm Ben Larg, I'm 16 years old, and I'm from the Isle of Tiree in Scotland.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask you how you pronounce that.
Yeah, I know. Tons of people get it wrong.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Tiree. Yeah. So, well, you came to our attention, first of all, from Peter Conroy, and then from Mitch, the Scottish surfer, who both of them we've heard talk about you, and the story that Peter told about you of surfing that wave in Mully was, well, as you said, you heard him describe it. Is that pretty accurate of what happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Like, I went over to Ireland for a bit of a surf trip to film this documentary thing that I'd been filming for about 4 years, and we were with Peter, we were training on the skis a bit and stuff, and he asked us to go up to Mully one day, and I was like, that was just like a dream come true to me. You know, I was dead excited to go up for that, and we cruised up in the van, and yeah, it was insane. It was brilliant.
So how big was the wave? For anybody who didn't listen to the Peter Conroy episode, how big was the wave you surfed? And you were 14, right?
Yeah, I was 14. I was actually more like 15. I was just about to turn 15.
Like that makes a difference. Like surfing a wave like that at that age, I was barely allowed to go down the shop by myself at that age.
Yeah, I know. Well, my dad, he actually made us promise the night before that I wouldn't surf it. And he was like that, Ben, if you surf that wave, I'll disown you. Yeah. I was like, okay, I promise I won't surf it. And I got in the back of Dylan's ski just by chance. Like, there was a seat on the ski and he said, oh, you can come out with me if you want, Ben. So I went out and I was watching for about, 3 hours on the ski or something. And he just said, oh, do you want a shot? And I said, oh yeah, okay then. So that was me. I grabbed the rope and then he towed us into that wave, and I was, it was super scary, but it was good fun.
It sounds insane. Like the whole thing, as we say, when Peter was explaining it, he's just coming back out on the ski and he's thinking, who's that on the wave? Shit. Him. Please don't die. Please. Is that the biggest wave you'd surfed at that point?
Yeah, definitely. That was by far the biggest wave that I've ever surfed, I think. I've done like a lot of big wave surfing since then, but still, that's still the biggest wave, definitely.
So what was that feeling the first time you're getting pulled into that and you're on that wave? Because I've seen the footage of it and that looks insane on its own. You just see this tiny little dot on this massive wave. So how does that feel, that first time you get pulled into a wave like that?
Honestly, it was insane, because like when we were going out on the jet ski, like I'd never been on a towboard in my life, and I'd never been pulled behind the jet ski ever. So we were going out, and I was kind of just like getting used to it and surfing the wake of the ski a little bit on the way out, and like the swell that was coming in, it was so unbelievably bumpy. And like actually on the way out, I fell off the board because the sea was so rough that it just like bounced us off of the board. But yeah, and then we like towed miles out the back. It felt like we were going for ages, and then I was like sitting in the water for like a good half an hour, and then Dylan said, "Oh, there's one coming through. Do you want to go for this one?" I said, "Yeah, sure," because I couldn't see the waves coming. It was because I was sitting in the water. Dylan was on the ski, and Peter was about and stuff looking out. So he started towing us in, and like I just saw like the wave like wall up in front of us, and it was. I like quickly glanced behind us, and like it was so like when I looked behind us, I just could not believe the size of the wave. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just keep my head looking forward from here on. Yeah, I just tried to take kind of like I let go of the rope, and I just tried to take like a kind of slightly higher line at the start, and then I kind of had to drop a little bit lower because it was going to shut out on me. And it was just super scary. Even talking about it now, it makes us nervous.
Well, I suppose it's good to be like that, isn't it? Because that feeling will keep you safe, I suppose. But the guy on the jet ski obviously didn't keep you safe. He chucked you into a huge wave.
To be fair, like as soon as I came off it, him and Peter were both there. Dylan and Peter, they were both there, and they picked us up straight away and took us right out the back, and they were they couldn't believe it, and I was so stoked. They were stoked for us. It was great.
I bet. What did your mates say when they see footage of stuff like that?
Well, most of like my mates in Lanzarote and stuff, they were all like they loved it. They thought it was brilliant, and yeah.
I tell you what, that's to take some courage. That does for anybody, but especially at 14, nearly 15. That is pretty unbelievable.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I was super stoked with it. It was just lucky to be there at the time when it was on, and be hanging about with Peter and stuff, and yeah, so it was brilliant. Yeah, I remember like on the night before we went up, we were in a bar called Kenny's in Lahinch, and Peter was like to my dad, "Oh, I think we're going to go up to Mully tomorrow. There's like meant to be a really good swell forecast." And my dad was like, "Okay, cool, that sound." And he was like, "Oh, does Ben want to come with us?" And my dad was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm sure that he'd love that." And sure enough, Dad got home and he told me. And I was like, "Oh, that just sounds like amazing, going up to sit on the ski with Peter and that." But like the one thing that Peter said, he said like, "Do not take I had obviously like the guys that were filming the documentary about us up in Ireland with us as well." And Peter was like, "Whatever you do, just don't mention to the film guys that you're coming up to Mully with us, because they'll want to come and we can't be bothered with them." And I was like, "Okay, I promise I won't mention to them, eh?" And yeah, anyway, but the next day we got up, we kind of set up the skiing stuff. Peter picked us up at the house. We did a few things. I got my stuff in the van. And we were driving up to Mully, and it was kind of like, it's quite a long drive actually from Lahinch up to there. And man, like on the way up, like I couldn't believe how just like chilled out Peter was. He was just like so happy. He was just cruising up the road like it was another day, and I was like sweating in the van. Like it was crazy, honestly. We stopped at this fuel station, and it had like a McDonald's or something outside of it. And Peter like went and like ordered like a McDonald's and a Big Mac for him, and I got one as well. But I was kind of thinking like, man, I thought these athletes that surf these big waves and stuff all had, like super healthy food, and we were like, I don't know, half an hour away from Mully and eating like chicken burgers out of McDonald's. It was mad.
Yeah.
did say that. He said that, like, when we asked him, oh, you know, what sort of training do you do for big wave surfing? I got to be honest, I don't do anything.
He did like a bit of training with me, and we were kind of doing like swimming in the pool and stuff. And then that was kind of like all that we did. It was more like stuff on the ski when we were doing the training. But Peter he said to me as well, like, it's just all in my mind. As long as I feel like calm, it'll all be like okay when I'm under the water.
So is that the biggest you've surfed to date now, or have you gone bigger?
I think no, that's definitely still the biggest wave that I've surfed. Like after I surfed that wave in Mully, I kind of got a bit in with the crew in Lanzarote as well. They kind of took us out to a few big wave spots out there, and we were towing a bit and paddling a bit. And there's a wave called Las Bajas in Lanzarote.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a big wave spot, more for towing than paddling because it's a bit shifty and stuff. And I went out there a few times with the Lanzarote crew out there, but like it didn't compare to Mully. Like it was another level in Ireland. Yeah. It's insane.
So yeah, so you said you were born in Lanzarote, were you?
No, I went born in Tiree, but we normally go to the Canary Islands, Lanzarote, for the winter time, and because it's like too cold to live in Tiree in the winter. Like you will not believe how windy it is up here. It's like 100-mile-an-hour winds every single day in the winter, and like I don't know, like 0 degrees, minus 2 most days. But the last 4 years we've been going to Lanzarote in the winter, and it's like brilliant surf and stuff. Really nice people. I've got tons of mates out there and stuff, and kind of super different to Tiree, but it's great.
So you go to school in the winter then, do you?
Yeah, we go to the first year that I went to Lanzarote, I ended up going to school, and it was like I didn't speak a word of Spanish. I honestly, like, my mum, we turned up to Lanzarote, and I thought I was just going to kind of surf for the whole winter and stuff, and my mum was just like, oh, I enrolled you in school in Spain. And I was like, Mum, I don't even speak any Spanish. Are you mental? And she was like, okay, yeah. But anyway, like the very first day of school, like we had like this, like, because we'd spent all the money on the trip to Lanzarote, we just, like, when we got there, we were just like, had no money to do anything else. So we had like this really old rented Clio. It was a Renault Clio car. And it was like oldest car that you could imagine. It was brilliant though. We all loved it. But all the doors fell off and everything when you opened them. But anyway, like the first day I rocked up to the school, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And honestly, I got out of the car and the thing just like it set itself on fire. In front of the whole school. I was like, oh no, man, this is not how I wanted my first day to go. And then, like, you can imagine, like, I'm already pretty nervous because I don't speak any Spanish. And anyway, my mum I think she got the car towed back, and I went away into the school.
Well, that's how you make an entrance.
Totally, that was it. It just, like, all of a sudden, like, smoke started coming out of the engine, and I was just like, oh no, here we go. But yeah, anyway, I went into the school, and like the head teacher, he was like showing us about and stuff, because I did not speak. Like I think I knew how to say hello in Spanish at this point. Yeah, so he showed us all the classes and stuff, and I was kind of wondering about. I think I knew like one person that went to the school, but like cause it was so big, I didn't even see them. And I was wandering into like these classes, not even sure if it was the class that I was supposed to be in, kind of sitting through these classes, not understanding a word of what anybody was saying, and just sitting down for like the whole school days. But like, anyway, I got like, eventually like the teachers kind of noticed like, oh man, this kid isn't learning anything. He's no idea what's going on. So they put us into like this class that had like kind of like, what happens in Spain is, what happens in Lanzarote anyway, is if you don't pass, they set exams at the end of every single year. And if you don't pass your end of your exam, you get kept back a year. So I got put into like this class with all these kids that had been kept back, like, I don't know, like they must have been getting kept back like 6 years or something like that. And I was like, they were like fully grown men with like beards and stuff. And I was like walking in there, I must have only just turned, like, I was probably only just turned 13. It was like my first year of secondary school. And like, I walked into this new class and there was like guys with like full grown beards, like just like in the class. I was like, what? You guys look about 20 years old. How are you? How are you in this class? And then like one of the teachers explained to us that basically, like, if you fail the exam at the end of the year, you get kept back. So I was just like in amongst like this group of like older guys and girls, and I was just like, I felt so unbelievably lost. I was just like, oh no, this is just not right, because they kind of put us in that class because I couldn't speak any Spanish.
You end up leaving and going back to Scotland then before you had to take that exam.
Yeah, well, I think like I ended up staying in the school for like the 4 months we were in Lanzarote, and then like when it was my last day, I was just like so happy. I wasn't happy to be going back to Scotland, but I was happy it was my last day of school and I was gonna come back to Tyree and be able to speak English to everybody.
So when did you start surfing? How old were you when you started surfing?
When I was probably like 2, I was like bodyboarding and stuff, and Dad had like pushes onto little waves and stuff like that. But then like I properly started surfing every single day when I was about 7.
Right.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'd probably be in the water every day just with Dad, and yeah, it kind of took off from there. And then I got into more competitive surfing when I was about 12. I think I'd done my first surf comp at 11 or 12, and then I was competing for a little while, and I enjoyed that as well. But I don't know, I wasn't like winning any comps or anything, and it's kind of like I won like a few of the Scottish comps, which I was super, super happy with, and then like I went on to do the UK Pro Tour, and I was kind of finishing like in the semis and stuff, and I kind of got a bit bored of it because I was trying quite hard, and then I just kind of faded away from it a bit.
That's kind of crazy that you've gone from, in a space of like 2 to 3 years, you've gone from just going into your first ever competition to then riding a wave which is like between 30 and 40 foot. That's crazy. So,
Yeah.
Is your dad a surfer then?
My dad, yeah, he used to like kite surf and windsurf a lot. He still kite surfs a lot. He doesn't windsurf anymore, but now he just surfs, and he'll maybe kite once or twice a year. But yeah, he's been surfing since he was about 30 years old, and he's
Right.
45 now. So yeah, a little while. But
Do you live by the coast then, I presume?
yeah, so we live on an island in the Hebrides called Tyree.
Right.
And we tons of Atlantic swells and stuff here. So it's brilliant for a surf up here, actually. Super nice beaches and stuff, and we've got a little surf school on the island. And, well, yeah,
It's going to be another one on our list that we've got to visit them. Since doing this podcast, we're talking to people all around the country, and every time we speak to someone that's in a different place that we've never been or anything, we're like, oh my god, we got to go there. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's honestly, Tyree, it's like the Caribbean but cold. Like when you see the drone videos and stuff of it, it's insane. It's an amazing place to live, but yeah, really great.
Slogan. It's like the Caribbean but cold.
Well, the slogan for Tyree is actually Hawaii of the North.
Oh.
Yeah, so and it is like Hawaii but cold.
What's your normal go-to board then if you're surfing like normal waves?
Well, I've got a guy in Lanzarote that shapes all my boards. He's called Uri Garcia Ferreira. I think that's
right.
his second name. Anyway, I'm not sure actually. But his surfboard company, it's called JFB. They shape like all my boards for us, and normally if my mates from Lanzarote are like coming over in the summer or something, they'll take over the boards for us. But yeah, like my go-to board is probably like it's called Super Speed. It's got like kind of like a fishy tail and quite like a flat rocker. It's a thruster, like it's about, I think it's 5'7" and 24 litres of volume, 23. I can't remember. I've not surfed in like so long that I've not even. I can't even remember what the dimensions of my board are.
I saw you had an injury, didn't you?
Yeah. So I've been out of the water for kind of 6 months now. I broke all the metatarsals in my foot and dislocated them, and I also like separated like my big toe from the one next to it that like split down. So it was basically like as bad as it could possibly be. Like all the doctors in the hospital, they were just like, "Oh man, we've never saw a foot like as bad as this ever." And that was like,
was that a surfing injury or?
Yeah, I was surfing when I broke it. I was just like it was like super small, like the smallest you could possibly imagine. It was like not even 2 foot. It was probably 1.5 foot, and I was out just like groveling on that little board. I was stuck in between like trying like a turn and an air, and I'm not very good at airs at all. But I ended up kind of landing like with my toes flat on the board, like, but my heel was kind of up on top of them, and I just like split like every single bone fully like across my foot. It was horrible. I came out of the water. I actually started laughing because it just looked so mangled. It was horrible. Like I just looked at that, I just went, "Oh no, that is not good." I just knew that straight away. There was no question. I knew that it was really broken.
Yeah. I posted a video recently of when I was skating and I dislocated my finger, and that was bad enough. And it's that weird thing if you look at it and you don't know. I don't know if you go into shock or you look at it and you're like, that doesn't look right, and then you try and move it and you can't move it because nothing's connected properly, and it's a weird feeling of like, what's going on?
I know, totally. That's exactly what it was like. Like straight away, like I just got hit with this massive wave of adrenaline, and I was kind of just like, I don't know, shocked. And there was a guy on the beach with a 4x4, and my sister and my dad hadn't even noticed by this point. It was all happened like so quickly, and they were just coming out of the water, and there was a local guy on the beach, Jason, and he took us to the doctor's surgery straight away, and my dad and my sister were behind us in the car, and I had to get an air ambulance from here, Tyree, to Glasgow, and then like I got my foot operated on like 2 days later or something, I think it was.
Oh, man.
That's amazing. It's like 2 foot waves, and you do that, and you survived the 30-foot wave.
Honestly, that's always what happens with everybody. It's always on the stupidest, littlest thing.
Yeah.
And it's you're just messing about, and something like that happens.
So when do you think you'll be back in the water?
Probably in about 3 weeks.
Oh, fantastic!
I think pretty much now, like I'm pretty much good to go from now. I've still got I've lost like a lot of muscle in my foot. Like you wouldn't think that your feet had so many muscles in them, but like you can like really notice the difference when you put it next to the other one, the right foot.
Yeah.
This one looks like the left one looks way skinnier.
You're at different size shoes.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I am.
So what? I obviously like you're going to go after more big waves. So are you planning for this to be a career choice for you?
Yeah, I definitely like big waves is definitely my. If I could do anything for the rest of my life, it'd definitely be surfing big waves. Like, I really love it. I was actually really gutted to miss like this whole winter, like from like just when the swell season kicked off in October. I broke my foot in October, right at the start, and I missed the whole winter through to now.
Oh, nightmare.
So yeah, it was a shame, but
Yeah, is lockdown, it being on your own sort of island up there? Does lockdown affect you much up there? Is there a lot of people on your island, or is it?
well, there's actually only 600 people on the island, but it's kind of we were in tier 3 for the whole of the winter. But I actually wasn't on. I actually wasn't on Tyree for the winter. I had to because I had to go to Glasgow and get all the operations and stuff.
Right.
We stayed down in Fife, near St Andrews, and I got physio on my foot in Anstruther, and a little physio called Stuart Barton's Physiotherapy, and they had all the right equipment and stuff, and I was there 3 times a week for about 4 months doing physio. So yeah, it was worth it. It feels much better now.
Yeah. Is that Fife? Is that near where the cheese toasties shack is that we've heard so much about from Mitch?
Yeah, that's the one. That's my uncle's business.
Right.
Yeah, you get some brilliant. Honestly, you've never tasted better cheese toasties in your life. They're like you've got to go down and get one in St Andrews.
Yeah, well, it's
They're
another
brilliant.
place that we've got to visit as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you could go to St Andrews for a little surf, get out, grab a toasty, and then hop back in again for another little surf.
No,
yeah, it's brilliant.
honestly, the amount of advertising we've given the cheese toasty shack in St Andrews, we need free toasties when we get there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely. I'll call my uncle and make sure that you all get free toasties.
So now you're riding big waves. Have you had a bad wipeout yet?
Yeah, I've had a few really bad wipeouts actually. Like in Mully, luckily, like I never wiped out. I was okay. I almost did. Like I caught a little wave after the wave that I caught, and I just kind of faded off the back of it a bit. And there was like a massive set cone, but luckily Dylan came and got us on the ski.
Right.
And but yeah, I've had in Lanzarote actually. We were towing one day at a wave called Las Bajas, and I let go of the rope, and I was caught behind the section a little bit, and it was maybe like the wave was probably like 20 foot, maybe a little bit smaller, and so it was kind of like quite a cruisy one, but I just got like caught out. I was a little bit too deep, and like the wave, it never held us down for very long. I was fine, popped back up, but I was in like the worst place that you could be. I was like on this super like slabby inside section where the jet skis couldn't get to, and I was just getting like totally destroyed for like half an hour. I just got like 13 massive waves on the head, and I just like could not get out of it. And then eventually I managed to like, there was a little gap, and I managed to swim out the back again. And the guy in the ski, he came and picked us up, and I was all right. But yeah, it was scary, but I don't know, it sounds weird, but like I quite enjoy getting wiped out, because it's, I don't know, I always end up laughing under the water. I always find it dead funny. I'm like, oh no, this is too stupid. This shouldn't, I'm just always thinking, oh, this is too stupid. I'm gonna die one day doing this. I end up kind of laughing and forgetting to hold my breath, and then I'm like, "What? What am I doing?"
I love the fact that you, it was a cruisy little 20 foot. That's
Well, yeah, well, you should have saw the waves that were coming through that day. Like if you were there, you would have thought that 20-footer was cruisy because some of the guys there, they were getting way bigger waves than me. I was just catching the kind of like ones that were like in between the sets that were that were kind of barreling a little bit, but not properly.
So what do your parents think about you going out surfing these massive waves? Is there a worry, or is there encouragement, or how's those conversations go?
Well, it's kind of it's a bit of both. Like my dad's super super supportive, and my mum's kind of just like giving up. She's like really supportive. My mum's super supportive, but she just like does not want to come and watch anymore. She's just like, I'm out here. I'm going shopping, and then Dad, he'll come and watch. But like when Dad gets too nervous, he passes out, and it's just like a disaster. So like I'll come in from a session, and maybe Dad'll be like lying down on the beach, like, Ben, I think I'm gonna pass out. And I'll be like, oh, Dad, no, not again.
So many times has he passed out?
Oh, honestly, you will not believe it. I remember we were going to Japan one time I was competing in the ISA World Championships, the Junior World Championships, and we were literally just about to get on the plane to Japan, and Dad hates flying. Like, really, really does not like flying. I think he would rather have drove to Japan, to be honest. Anyway, we were getting on this flight, and like 20 minutes before it was about to leave, he just like hit the deck. I mean, like, we were standing in the queue. We were just about to board. We were standing in the queue, and I was just standing next to Dad, and he just passed out. That was it. He just like, oh, Ben, I think I'm going to pass out. And straight away, he just hit the ground. I was like, oh, shit. What are we going to do? And then I phoned my mum, and I was like, oh, Mum, I don't really know what to do. We're in the airport, Heathrow Airport, and Dad's just passed out. And she was like, oh, Ben, you're winding us up. He's not passed out. I don't believe you. And she just like cut off the phone to us. And I was like, had to phone back and like convince her that Dad was like lying on the floor. And then like I had to get somebody else just from like, there was kind of like folk around us because obviously there was a guy lying on the floor. And like the health and safety and people came out and like doctors and stuff were helping. And I had to like pass the phone on to like another person just so that my mum would like believe that my dad was like lying on the floor passed out. But yeah, it was crazy. And then we actually managed to still make the flight by some miracle. It was, yeah.
You just carried him on past out.
That's pretty much what happened. I couldn't believe that everybody just let him get on the plane. I was like, guys, we're going to have, if we miss this flight, I'm going to miss this competition, and that can't happen. So I was just like, Dad, come on, let's go. That was a laugh. Yeah, I know.
That's the new way of priority booking, isn't it? Pass out in the queue and you get to the front quickly, let you on.
Exactly. Well, by the time that he was ready to go, the queue disappeared anyway. We only had about 50 seconds left to get on the flight.
How did you find that competition then in Japan, and how did you find competitions abroad?
Well, I was kind of like a bit younger then, so I was still quite excited about the comps and stuff. It was probably like Japan was like amazing. Like I couldn't believe that we were going to Japan. It was beautiful, and when we turned up in Tokyo, it just seemed like a different world. It was mad. And then we got this flight to the little island where the comp was, and everybody was so nice. Like all the Japanese people were super nice. And then when the comp run, like it was kind of like this, the ISA World Junior Championships. It was you kind of it's like a team event. So like Scotland will go, and then France will go, and all the other teams around the world, from America and Hawaii and everywhere around the world. Every country goes to this comp that surfs, and the points end up getting tallied up, and it's kind of like the team that scores like the most points, like win the ISA Junior World Champs, and then there's like a overall winner and stuff.
Yeah,
individual winner. But yeah, it was honestly like an amazing experience, and the waves in Japan were actually like, I didn't think the waves in Japan were so good. They were like amazing. And then I can't even remember what I placed in the comp. I don't think it was very good. I don't even think I made it through the first round. I went into like the second try round. I don't even think I made it through any of the heats, but it was just I just had so much fun there that I didn't even mind. It was just a brilliant experience.
Yeah. So what is on your list of waves that you want to go and surf?
For Nazar has got to be like the top of the list. And I was actually hoping to surf Nazar this winter. I had a couple of contacts to go out there. And but then when I broke my foot, it was I couldn't go anymore, but that was okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully maybe Nazar this winter or next winter, that'd be good. And also, like, I want to go out I'd love to go to Bali and surf Nias. Or what, I'm not sure, Indo and surf Nias actually. And I'm not sure what island Nias is on, but it just looks amazing. And probably, like, I don't know, I love going up north to Thurso and just surfing all the slabs and stuff up there. It's, yeah.
I saw some video of you surfing at Thurso as well, and that looks, you look like you were definitely in control of the board there. It's bloody brilliant footage.
Ripping.
Probably wasn't. It was probably just pure luck that I got a good wave. I think the only time...
I think you're being very modest.
I think the only time I got filmed, well, like I had like a few old clips of like my first like couple surfs at Thurso East and stuff, but like that was I think that was the only wave that I got filmed ever at Thurso East, and it happened to be like my best wave of the day, so I was pretty happy with that. And that, you know, that never happens when it's Dad's got the camera. It's always the worst wave.
Your dad's going to listen to this and go, "Do you actually like me? You've just taken the piss out of me the whole time."
He knows I love him. He knows. He's brilliant, super supportive and stuff, and he's the one that taught us how to surf, I suppose, amongst kind of other people. And yeah.
So now you're kind of gearing up for a career in big wave surfing. What are you doing in regards to training to cope with the wipeouts and to be able to be fit enough to ride those waves?
Well, I'd love to be like Peter Conroy and just not train at all, but I am actually doing a bit of training. I'm like normally in the water, I'm not too nervous once I'm in and I've kind of paddled about a bit. I find it quite easy to stay calm. I've just been like every morning for the past or every second morning for the past 3 months now, I've been going to the gym for an hour, and then I'll come home, and I've Nick Von Rupp, a surfer that surfs Nazar. He's got like this training course on just now, and I've been doing that online with him in the evening. And then I just do some like the Wim Hof breathing technique.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a different breath training, and then you kind of hold.
Yeah, incredible guy he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's insane. I mean, like, I thought it was hard enough surfing in the cold in Scotland, but he's like dipping in ice baths in Antarctica. It's mad.
Yeah, it is. He's superhuman.
Yeah, he is. It's mental, but yeah.
We often ask people if there's a difference in your like mindset before you've and after you surfed, and I want to change that question slightly for you. So is there a difference in your mindset before you surfed and after you surfed on a standard wave? And then is there a bigger difference before you've surfed and after you've surfed on a fucking monster wave?
Well, I don't know. Like, the reason I love big wave surfing is because you kind of like, you rock up and like your adrenaline's like rushing through you, and it's like, you kind of like feel super cool going out on the jet skis and stuff with all the super big boards, and you feel like, yeah, it just feels super cool, and everybody's like super supportive of each other, and everybody's looking out for each other, and then when you get like a super good big wave, you're so excited when you come off of it because it was such a scary moment, but you've made it to the end of it. And and then I suppose when I'm just like normal surfing, it's still like just as good. Like if you do a brilliant turn or something, you still feel amazing. But like with big wave surfing, it's just like that bit extra of excitement.
Yeah, the fact that you've actually survived it.
Yeah.
And your dad's got great footage of you making it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're just like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't get wiped out on that one. I'm so happy to make it to the end of the wave.
You know, if the wave was really big, because there's just video footage from your dad of like you start on it and then it's just the sky where he's passed out again.
Totally, that's exactly how you know that it's big. Yeah. No.
So, Ben, have you managed to pick up any sponsors to help your kind of progression in this?
Well, yeah, I've got a few sponsors. No super big ones yet, but got actually my uncle at the Cheesy Toe Shack. He and my other uncle, he's got a crepe shack, and doing kind of like pancakes and stuff, and they've both been like super supportive of us and like putting money towards just like travel and equipment and all that sort of stuff. And then I've got the guy in Lanzarote, he sponsors us with all my boards and stuff.
Oh, perfect.
JFB. And then I've got a couple of other ones. Monera, they do my wetsuits. Blue Suit, they've been super helpful to us as well. They do the pool vests, so that like if you do get caught in like a super tricky situation, you can pull the vest and you kind of pop up within a few seconds if the wave's not too big.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'm quite sure with the path you're heading on and with what you've surfed already, that before long there's going to be sponsors coming out of, well, everywhere at you.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope it happens. But yeah, I'm happy for just now. Anyway,
Yeah.
It seem to be moving along.
It's really lovely to hear that your entire family supporting you behind this. Like, what a lovely thing.
Yeah, I know, totally. But honestly, my mum and my dad couldn't be any more supportive, and all my uncles and stuff, and my granny and my granddad as well. They're just always rooting for us. My granny going till after I surfed Mulligmore, she'd go into like she's obsessed with shopping, and like after I surfed Mulligmore, every time she went into a shop, she'd tell like the woman that was in the shop, like when she was paying for her stuff, she'd tell her all about us and how I'd surfed this wave in Ireland.
Ah, that's nice.
And yeah, she's brilliant.
That's really cool.
But, so everybody's super supportive.
It sounds like you've got a really good family and really good community that really encourage you and help you on. So before we start wrapping this up, where can people find you online, and if they want to make contact on social media or whatever?
My Instagram is Ben Larg Surf 04, and you can contact us off of there. And I think I've got a Facebook account as well. I think it's just Ben Larg or something. I can't even remember. But If you need to ping us a message, you can.
As Leighton's kids
yeah.
say, Facebook's for old people now, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I know. Maybe, probably. Actually, to be honest, I've never used Instagram or Facebook. Actually, I've got to be like the most unactive person. All my I say all my sponsors. Some of my sponsors are like, Ben, come on, like you've got to post kind of like a bit more on your Instagram, not just once a year of like one wave that you've got.
I suppose
And I'm kind of like, oh man,
that's kind of unusual for a teenager as well, not to be on Instagram.
do you know what? I just always feel so awkward, like posting some like I don't know, like it just doesn't feel. It feels a bit weird, and then like when you've got to decide what to say in the caption, me and my mum and my dad are always like there thinking for hours, like, oh, what should I say? And then it just ends up being like so time consuming that I don't even bother. I used to do it like when I first got Instagram. I used to like post like every day and just have no caption, and that was the best. I could just like post whatever I wanted. But now it's got to be...
it's one of those things with Instagram where you can, I think you can overthink it too much as well, where you've just got to go like, there's a picture, I surfed here today, or something like that, something sweet and simple like that, and that's what you need to put.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's definitely what I should do more of.
Yeah.
And just tag a few of my sponsors and stuff, and then, yeah.
Well, listen, Ben, we really, really appreciate you coming on and having a chat with us. And, future looks super bright for you. And the lovely thing about your family all supporting you. So stay safe. And, when you're surfing a big wave because your dad will be collapsed on the floor. So.
Yeah, totally. Well, thanks very much, guys. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, in a couple of years, hopefully we'll still be going. And you'll have to come back on and then let us know where you are in the journey.
I know, totally. You'll have to come to Tyree for the longboarding. I noticed that Peter in his last podcast said that you should go to Dublin, but I don't recommend that.
No, I don't recommend.
You'd be better coming to Tyree.
Yeah, we're definitely on our list.
Cool.
And thanks, Ben. What an amazing lad.
Yeah, nice kid.
Yeah.
Real nice. And I can't believe his dad passes out when he gets too nervous.
It's going to be every time he's surfing.
That's got to be. Especially, imagine that. What happens? Your dad passes out when he gets real nervous. Oh, I think I'm going to surf the biggest waves I could find. That's going to help him, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the airport, his mummy's passed out. Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
He was chatting to us before and afterwards, and he said, like, he was chatting about his mum and dad, and he said they're absolutely brilliant and super supportive of him.
Well, it sounds like his whole family is supportive. When he said, like, his uncles and stuff, putting in money to help him fund the travel around the world. It's just lovely.
Yeah. Cheese Toasty Shack again in there.
Yeah, God, so they're going to be a sponsor for the show, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. Cheese Toasty Shack. I was chatting to them as well, actually, while we're saying Cheese Toasty Shack. I put a message on, you're going to have to sponsor the Scottish surfer. And they said they can't. He spends too much money there. That's another one. So, that's the Scottish surfer and Peter Conroy both said about Ben and what a lovely kid he was. And he is. He's really nice, really down to earth, and just funny and just happy. But his foot,
Yeah, the story about his foot was harsh. And it was on like a 2-foot wave. Survives the 40-footer.
Yeah.
The 2-footer messes him up.
Oh, man. Sounds awful, doesn't it?
That's the way it goes, I suppose, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
But yeah, he's definitely going to be a superstar, isn't he?
Yeah, like what he's surfing and his ability is just...
Can you imagine at 14 years old, like, having the balls to go surfing on a wave that's 40 foot? Like,
yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because, like, if you seriously remember back to, like, 14, we did some stupid things at 14. I know we didn't surf 40-foot waves, But some of the things you do at that age, you look back and you go, that was ridiculous. I wonder if when he's 40, he's going to sit back and look at a picture of that and go, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. But, the stuff that we did, it's not like skill required or anything like that. Like, he's got to know what he's doing to be able to survive that.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's going to be a bit more aware than what we were at 14,
He's probably more aware now than we are now.
So, he must just been super confident in his ability at 14 years old.
Yeah.
I just can't get my head around it. It's just absolutely amazing.
And have you seen the footage of it? It looks petrifying.
Yeah. It just takes balls of steel.
Yeah.
It does.
I haven't got words. Normally I have words.
Yeah, he's incredible. He really is. So, yeah, well, fair play to you, Ben.
Yeah.
And we cannot wait to see where surfing takes you in your career.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be good places.
Yeah, when you're an uber mega surf star, you have to come back onto the show. Should have got him to sign something.
He was miles away, sat in his bed with a busted leg.
There's a thing called the internet now, and you can do digital signing. So he thought this out just after we spoke to him.
Digital sign-in?
Yeah, you can.
You don't want a digital sign-in. You want a proper,
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Bye.